Hey everyone, welcome to Pop XP. And before the show starts, make sure to click that subscribe button and click the bell to get notifications when we go live and we upload awesome new content. And don't forget, if you can, make sure to share our stream on all your social media outlets. We appreciate it, and thanks for helping us grow the Pop XP channel.
What's up, everybody? Hope everyone's doing well. I didn't hit the old crowdfunding comics thing. I should have, but oh well. Why not? Good to see you guys. We had a little emergency. Everything is good. You saw earlier I was on this morning with JC Vaughn and, of course, Dr. Blevins. We had a little problem with Una with her chemotherapy that she had. And those of you that know that our dog Una has cancer, she had to get her rear left hind leg amputated at the hock. And she's doing fantastic, but she has to do chemo. She has, chemotherapy sessions, and she's on her. This is her third one, and she was not. She doesn't want it. She doesn't like it. She knows what's going on. She's not stupid, so she fights them. Not bites them, but they try to hold her down, and she cries, and she's not a very good patient because she knows what's going on, and she doesn't want to sit there for the chemo. And so Debbie was, calling me all upset because they have to put her to sleep in order to give it to her. But, I'm like, all right, that's fine. Let's give her the anesthesia, put her to sleep. She's more comfortable. Obviously, she doesn't like it. I'm just looking for my pencils. And if she doesn't like it, she doesn't like it. What are you going to do? Debbie went through chemo and she didn't like it either. So, but she'll be all right. She's our wonder dog. I'm trying to move this back a little bit. There we go. Let's see if that's a little bit better. Whoa, too heavy. Got to put a bottle down. Oh, maybe I can do this with that. Nah. Hang on, guys. Okay, there you go. So I'm going to be drawing over here. Drawing the Way the Warrior covers. This is our hardcover edition. Sanchez. Good to see you, cabron. It's good to see everybody out there. Okay, so Facebook is working through this because I went directly through mine and not to the Pop XP. I hope now Scala doesn't mind. But I don't see, we get a lot more people viewing it on mine than a Pop XP channel because I've just been, I guess, doing it a lot longer than them. So I'm going to do some sketch covers, and then I think Debbie might have to borrow my computer because hers is acting a little bit wonky. The laptop, the MacBook for some orders and stuff because we are beginning to fulfill in earnest all of our major books. James Mick, when are we going to release this to the public? The James MC, this comic book to the public? What do you mean? Not sure what you mean by that. You have the originals, James Mick. The books are being, if you buy it, it's in the description. If you guys pledge to it on fourth one, there we go. Wait a minute. See, some people are Debbie's on here, but I'm only getting some. I get James Sanchez on Facebook over here, but Debbie is coming in late over here. Way cool. Laura's on. I don't know. I'll talk to Niall about it and try to figure it out. Again, guys, this is going to be very distorted, just the way the camera is. Move this up a little bit. Let's see if I can do that. And then. Yes, this is what's tough. I'll have to draw up here. And I normally don't draw this flat either. I'm drawing on a very slight angle. I draw more on a 45-degree angle almost. But I got to do 50 of these sketch covers. I've done 15 or 16 of them already. So I'm going to draw them for about an hour or so. If you guys don't mind joining me, I can maybe play some copyright-free music. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. And, we'll have some fun. But these are sold out right now. There was only 50 of them. I'm gonna number them all, they'll all go out this week. Everything's going out this week. William and I went down, and Deb too as well. We went to the American Legion Hall, where we're gonna have our massive fulfillment center. My post. And we brought all the Gemini mailers. They're actually Hot Flips mailers if they're superior to Gemini mailers. The Hot Flips mailers are all we're loaded there. All of our stretch goal packs, which are like this, which everyone's going to get. So our stretch goal packs, for those that you do not know, and here's a hardcover in here. Stretch goal packs work like this. So your books are going to come in one of the heavy Gemini hot clips mailers, which is similar to this. Oh, there you are. Hey, honey. Ours are heavier. So I'm going to go for. You need my computer? Is that a problem?
No, I was.
Okay, so it's going to go.
Ask you a question.
Can you ask me in front of the people or no?
I can.
Is it embarrassing?
No, it's not.
Okay. What's up? We can come around here on this side so people can see you and say hello to everybody out there in TV land.
We can add more of these.
What do you mean? More what?
You said you think you'll be able to get through the 50 pretty quickly.
Well, if I get through them, then we can add another one in Indiegogo, I guess, for the last week or so.
You can put that
Well,
out
I still have another 25 of the sketch covers to do,
If
too.
you want me to add another 25, I can. If you think, if we think that people out there want more of them.
No, okay. Oh, we got a super chat. Gaming or what? TM. Oh, we just ordered his second copy. And you gave us a super chat. Thank you so much. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. We got Dr. Blevins. Dr. Blevins, I haven't sent that the link yet. I'll send you out the link. All right, let me get started. Is James Sanchez is saying hi.
Hi, James.
James said, when are you going to release this to the public? I think he's talking about the Return of the Warrior. Yeah, so these are all being shipped out this week, right? Yeah, I don't know if he's talking about for this book or I'm not sure. But anyway, so everyone's going to get in our package. You get, of course, this. I'm going to make this number. I'm going to number these. No, don't number them. Okay.
No, because then I got to match numbers.
Oh, okay. You're right. Okay, I'm not going to number them. Sorry. There's only 50 of them. So everyone gets one of these. Everyone who gets the hardcover. I need my stretch goal pack. Okay.
No,
Everyone, thank you. Everyone who gets the hardcover will, of course, get your hardcover. If you don't get the hardcover and you get, say, our Spider-Man number 301 homage cover, you get that. You'll get that. If you get the Rising Sun edition, here's our Rising Sun edition, 56-page graphic novel. Sunfire, what I call it. Rising Sun. Oh, that was from Junyan. I can't doing this a long time, everybody. A long time. Of course, from Uncle George, gorgeous George Perez, did this beautiful cover coming out of retirement. This might be the last George Perez cover ever.
That would be nice.
I mean, I think it would be
For
great.
us,
Yeah, it'd be great for us. It wouldn't be great for everybody else, but
I'd like to see him do more.
of course, the beautiful Amanda Connor cover. Gorgeous colors by Paul Mounts. This was colored by Wes Hartman, as was this colored by Wes Hartman too. And Wes colored that one as well. Our hardcover, of course, was covered by our amazing colorist Brian Miller and Dr. Christie from Hi-Fi Color and Design.
Dr. Christie, Dr. Blevins.
Dr. Blevins is a doctor because he's got a PhD in she.
I know.
Want to hand me Connie's book? Of course, we have Connie Valentina did this beautiful cover. Connie just submitted her second cover for Haikyo.
The light is really bad on the.
I know. The great Renzini, Mike Renzini, did this beautiful cover here. If I turn, it's the shrink wrap though. See, it's shrink wrap. What are you gonna do? Of course, our Kickstarter exclusive. If anyone got that, this is our Coquette edition. Very fetching, wouldn't you say, Deborah?
Without that flying saucer on it.
Yeah, without the flying saucer. Of course, Shiroi. Now that looks good. There's our Shiroi cover, our Indiegogo exclusive. And I guess you call this our main cover, right? Fierce.
That was the campaign exclusive.
This is our campaign exclusive. So here's our Fierce cover. And I think they look pretty terrific. So let's put these away. Let's just put those away. So in our stretch goal packs, all of you will be getting this Black Line Edition, 25th anniversary, a 301 homage cover, of course. Amazing Spider-Man number 300. Yes, Way of the Warrior. And then in the back, you will get 9 or 10 trading cards. 10 trading cards.
10 because of the bonus trading
card. The bonus trading card that was added that we gave you. A vinyl sticker, a TUCCI Trooper patch, and hopefully everyone will be getting a comic book size mini print of She, the Way, the Warrior, which is supposed to come overnight tomorrow. So there you go. We can hope. You can pack that. Let's just pack that up. Thank you. see if I did this one. So I'm going to draw some covers. That one's done. So if for those 50 of you who got the sketch covers, they're going to come out similar to this.
One's pretty.
Isn't that pretty? Yeah. There you go. Let's just put that over there. And all right, so let's start opening these. Then I'm going to do a sketch. I'm going to sketch for a little while. And then we'll, I guess, till 7, get something to eat. We packed up the Legion Hall, which is looking great. Then we have, right now, we have 3. We might have to go buy some more X-Acto knives. I have 3 of them right now. I don't know either, dear. That's the mystery of this sweet mystery of love at last I found thee. Would you guys like to listen to a little bit of music? There's a copyright-free YouTube channel with music, which I think would be kind of nice to play.
Where's your computer?
My computer, I'm using it right now.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, 'cause this is where the camera's coming from.
Right,
When I
so
get the
you're doing that
JPC
until
set up
7, you
after
said?
the supercomputer, the JPC will be strictly our this camera.
Okay, so you're doing that until 7?
Yeah, till 7.
Okay.
All right.
Bring it down then.
Sure. Okay, let's do something. Let's do this one like this. Again, I'm not used to drawing like this, so if anyone has any questions, please ask. Okay, James Mack. Let me find that. Dr. Blevin says hello, honey.
Hi, Dr. Blevin.
Give me a second, Mr. Mack. We have a question here. All right. Where do I purchase these? I'm sorry, I can't find the place to purchase them. I'm a doofus. Join the club, buddy. I'm going to show you where you guys could buy this right now. So, James, hang on. You can get it right here. So, if you go to Indiegogo and you type, and the link is actually in the description. I don't know if Dr. Blevins, if you could pop that in for me, maybe the direct link, but it's in the description of the page on the YouTube channel. But here's She, Return of the Warrior. We're in our final week. We'll be fulfilling for the next 2 weeks of all the rest of the books. Then the campaign closes and it's gone. So, but here's our campaign right here. Let's go to the TV. We get to the kaboom. So here's the campaign. It has all the levels on it. A lot of things have been sold out, unfortunately, but there is still, you can get the like they said, the Nigan Metal Edition. There's still 10 of those left. No, 5 of those left. Sorry. The digital PDF. Everyone, you get the Return of the Warrior digital PDF. Everyone gets that if you, and because our lowest number is our lowest pledge is $10. Thank you, Dr. Blevins. Also, just lots of cool stuff. Prints. There's some original art up there. This is the PDF cover to the this is the cover to the Return of the Warrior PDF edition. It's also a print. Of course, here's our She-Roy cover. Some original art. There's some left. I think maybe my Archie cover might be left. That's it. But we have coins. We have challenge coins. We have blank sketch cover editions. We have exclusive editions. Lots of fun stuff. There is the cover to that everyone gets for free. You get a 25th anniversary She, Wave the Warrior, Black Line Edition comic made exclusively for this campaign. So you guys will get that free with our stretch goals. Again, 10 trading cards, a mini print, a vinyl sticker, and, of course, the Tucci Trooper patch. There's me with a crew cut. Maybe I'll get a crew cut again. I like to have a crew cut, the short hair. And that's a PDF, of course. That all the covers are in the PDFs as well. The Way of the Warrior PDF, I think it's $20 or $25. It comes in 4 volumes of the PDF, and it's over 400 pages long of the entire She, Way of the Warrior story arc, plus the Tomoe miniseries by Dan Mishkin, Amanda Connor, and Jimmy Palmiotti, edited by Gary Cohn and myself. There you go. There's our covers. There's our stuff. So here's the campaign. So I hope this helps, James. If it doesn't, forgive me. I'm not the brightest crayon on the box, and I've never proposed to be so. So now I'm going to see if I can if I play with this, if that works. Yeah, I did it. Oh, why did that one go away? Oh, well. All right, so I'm going to draw, and wish me luck. So here we go. Any questions? I will be looking at it to check and see. I just have to get these drawings done. Can you see a little? Yeah, you guys can see. Maybe I'll drop it down a little bit. No, it's this one. There you go. There's my scar. Everybody wants to see my scar. I have my when I got my bicep, I tore the bicep off the bone like a genius, like the genius that I am. A little over a month ago, and I have to wear this brace. I'm supposed to wear it for a few more weeks, but I got to tell you, it hurts. It's driving me nuts. And my physical therapist basically told me what I can't do. So I figured, I do the old Henny Youngman, and just don't do that. Don't lift like this with my left hand. Don't turn out with my left hand, and don't try to go straight. But believe it or not, I have gone. Kind of hurts, but see, they've been straightening it out, so I can almost go straight with it. That's what puts a lot on your bicep. So I gotta get these done. I gotta do all these by tomorrow while we're packing them all up. But we're gonna do a live video tomorrow as well. Hopefully the Wi-Fi works. I might have to do it via my phone, or maybe even Debbie's iPad. Because I just don't know how the resolution is going to work with my with my computer or my laptop. I'm not bringing the big Blevins PC, and I still don't know how to work Blevins. You got me that little stream band thing that you got us for Pop XP. That really cool. I don't know why I'm blanking on it. Phil Russell's calling. Phil, I'm live. I can't talk right now. Let me talk to Phil. Hang on. Phil's coming to help us, I think. Yo. Nothing much, man. I'm live. You want to go live with me and talk, or is this private? Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Don't worry about it then. I completely understand. Yeah, it's just the way it's going to be. It's going to be nuts. Well, how old are they? Yeah, I don't want. Yeah, let's. Yeah, that's gonna be too much of a distraction. Well, you don't have to do it. If we'll be there Sunday too. If you want to come by on Sunday and hang with us, I'm going to be doing it from about 10 o'clock to 7. All right, pal. Yeah, we just got to work, and I don't want, especially with them running around the Legion Hall. So. All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Thanks. All right. Everything just keeps on going. So, okay, so here's. And I love, again, I do these with my Barrel Prisma color pencils, and I love them. Josh Warner turned me on to these. Let's see if I can get it. Guess it's too close. Got to go there. Barrel Prisma colors. These are the blacks. His amazing wife sent me cases of them, and this is what I use to draw a lot of my covers and stuff like that. So I don't know if I could say who she is. I don't know if I'm allowed to. I'll ask Josh. So so every one of these books is going to get one of these sketches inside of them, which is there's only 50 of them though. And I'm not, so for those that actually purchase that level, and I might go back and revisit this level for the last week once I get all caught up. But I have another, I might have another 40 sketch covers to finish, and of course I'm drawing. I'm drawing Haikyo, our next book, which launches next month, and I'm already halfway done. I got 24 pages done already of the 48-page story. So pretty cool. So we're way ahead of the game. The next campaign will ship super fast compared to this one. A lot of growing pains. If you guys remembered, did some story changes to it, and just art changes. Some of the art wasn't gelling, and we literally redrew and then colored 25 pages of the comic But I think the end result, hopefully you will like it. It just had to be something special, especially that it was the first She comic in over, in over 15 years. So, I'm getting some messages here, as always. Okay, let's swing over here in case I'm missing anything. Hey, Kerry, good to see you. Dwayne, good to see you. Soloff, how are you, Soloff? Let me see if maybe Soloff and Dr. Blevins wants to come in. I'm going to go send that link. Let's see if I can send that link to the Facebook Messenger. That should be the link to it. So if I do a new message. Paste. Nope, wrong one. That's the Indiegogo one. Dang it. That's the Indiegogo link. I'd have to get. Okay, I can do. I'll have to do it on this computer now. All right. So if I go on this computer, this should work. I got to do it on my Mac. Command C. Let's go to Facebook. Yeah, I know I'm friends with Soloff on Facebook. What is this about? What is this about? Let me give it a second to get caught up. There we go. Blevins. Oh, I'm hitting. That's why, because I'm hitting on the wrong damn computer. Idiot. Give it a second to get caught. There we go. All right. I got two keyboards here because I have two computers, and I'm typing. I'm like, what's going on? There we go. I sent the link. All right. Hopefully they'll join us, my homies. All right. So, hey, Ara, how are you? Good to see you. How long does it take to finish a book from writing to finished product? You know, the first book, the She book, it took us a long time because when we first started, we didn't have a lot of, we only had maybe 5 pages of art. And we had the story down, but very few pages of script. Then Steve Peros and I started talking. I actually called Steve Peros to ask him for some advice, storytelling-wise. One of my best friends since 7th grade, screenwriter. And we were just drinking scotch and smoking cigars and doing a Skype one evening. And he just kept asking all these different questions about the story and what if you want to lead it to this. And he just got it. And that made it really made me think like, wow, this guy should be writing this comic with me, the script with me. And I asked him if he wanted to do it, and he said okay. And he gave it a whole new perspective on the comic, on the character. Because again, I created She 30 years ago in college, Anna Ishikawa, and the story. It took us another 4 years by the time I was able to do my first comic. Because I was trying to get work for Marvel in DC, and then I met Brian Polito at Comic-Con in 1993, and I'm like, you know what, I can do this. I want to make my own book. So I self-published my own comic, which ended up being She. But basically from an issue, from start to finish, it takes about, that's a tough one. I got to be honest with you, that's a tough one. It took us about, I'd say with this book, from start to finish for creating, because the first book was so different because we were changing story. We changed a lot of the story, a lot of it. But this book, now that we know we're doing with Hotaru, because it really is a sequel to Return of the Warrior, I'd say a good, let's see, I'm on page 24 of the 48-page book. I'd say 6 weeks, a good 6 weeks, maybe 2 months. You might take 2 months because, coloring as well. But it's also, when it's your own book, self-published book, you always end up changing things. You always end up changing panels out. You always end up changing script. And I'd say a good 2 months is good for a good 48-page comic to have it completely done. But this is an assembly line. It takes, if you could draw a page a day, that's huge. So, thinking about that, 48 pages, if you're doing a page a day, you're talking more than 2 months. You're talking 3 months, good 3 months to do a book, to do a 48-page comic. Yeah, give it a quarter. Yeah, give it a quarter, 3 months. So, I just thought about that as I was talking. So, my goodness, it's a little easier to do sketch covers. But yeah, I've been working hard on She Return of the Warrior for over a month now on the pencils. Steve's script is phenomenal. Steve is now writing the script. And of course, I come in and we have suggestions. I have suggestions. I'll change things. I'm looking for my little chop here. This is my name in Chinese. TUCCI in Chinese. That my mom got when she worked in Chinatown. So then we add a little coup de grace to it. And here's another book done. Another one bites the dust. Oh, I heard a boop. Did I hear a boop, boop, or a boop? What? Blevins is not on camera. Come on, man.
What's up, man? I'm gonna try to get over there to it. I just thought I would jump on real quick like.
Right quick.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Dude, I just want to say, like, that sketch you were drawing just now was so incredible.
Oh,
cute, right? I don't know why the eyes were so dynamic. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Well, you know what they say about the eyes? They're the windows to the soul.
Right.
So I wish, too bad you don't live up here, bro. You could have came to our little fulfillment party, brought that Dr. Pepper with you.
That's right. Could have basically gave some Dr. Pepper away, because the first one's always free. The next was gonna cost you.
Yeah, that's true.
I could read the chat for you though. I haven't seen anything from Facebook. Era Galenian says, if you wrote the dialogue and action of a comic book as a movie script, how many pages would you need to get a regular length comic book?
Well, when you write a movie script, it shouldn't be every page should be a minute. So your script should probably be a good, 90 pages to, 100 pages. Because I don't know how many people actually write unless you're the director yourself. Has the opportunity of writing a 3-hour, film. Even a 2-hour, even 120 pages is a lot. So, but yeah, that's what we would do. For the comic script, it's kind of the same thing. It's a page, it's a page of script for a page of story. So our comic scripts are 48 pages. I'm thinking about Blevins. I got to tell you, Dr. B, maybe even when this is done, this triptych is done, because this is a triptych, this story.
Yeah.
Is we do a script edition, the script, pure script edition.
Dude, I mean, don't tempt me with a good time. don't threaten me with that. Soloff is over on the book face, and he goes, "Gorgeous eyes, Billy."
Yeah, I saw that. I invited him in since
it's so weird that he says gorgeous eyes, because he can't see them from the camera is focused on the picture you're drawing.
It is, yeah.
He's talking about the drawing. I thought he was talking about you.
He's not talking about my beautiful eyes.
Yeah, text loses a lot of translation. I thought he missed you like a lot.
Well, I talked to a whole lot. I talked to Scala. He's got the kids right now, and Niall's got two 2-year-olds.
Little Jedi twins, man.
Yeah, the Jedi twins, the little Padawans.
Yeah.
But I was talking to him. We're all excited. I got to move this out a little bit. We're all excited about. I'm going to back up a little bit about Poptober, bro.
I know Poptober looks great.
I think we're going to cover some Inktober stuff on Poptober. We definitely got to cover Inktober on Poptober. Poptober. This is our show, our YouTube channel, Pop XP, and we're going to have a lot of shows come October.
Dude, I have a gold guess for Poptober. I just came up with it while since last time I was on the stream with you.
And who's that?
An ideal guess that we have to have has to be Stan Sakai. We have to get Stan Sakai on the show.
Stan Sakai. Oh
God, man, I've been looking at. I mean, all with the new Usagi show coming out. And else, I mean, like, we need to get him before he becomes too big time.
He already is big time though. But yeah, I'll if you want to reach out to him or just say Billy Tucci loves you. The Tucci's love you.
I'll be like, let me tell you a little story about Billy the Tucci.
Stan did for for our second trade paperback. He did the introduction.
Yeah, that guy's when we had Kevin Eastman on the show, I was super excited. I know it sounds so bad. I mean, like, we had the guy who created the Ninja Turtles, and I was super excited, but I really wanted to ask about Usagi Yojimbo. He's my favorite.
Oh,
my favorite non-turtle Ninja Turtle character.
Yeah. Hey man, you know what I'm gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna invite our boy Paul Jenkins. I don't know if he's busy. But I miss Paul Jenkins. I did a cover for him. He's got a campaign live on Indiegogo right now that I did a damn cover, and I was supposed to call him the other day.
Man.
I forgot to call Paul Jenkins, man.
He might not answer because you ghosted him.
I've been ghosted Paul Jenkins. That's how I roll. See how big I am? I can ghost Paul Jenkins.
You're like, oh no, Paul Jenkins, don't you know who I am?
Yeah.
I'm Billy Tucci.
Billy effing Tucci.
Yeah. I'm the one who ghosts.
Yeah. So I said in the link, I'll see if he joins me. I don't know if he's around, but a lot of fun, Paul Jenkins. We got to hang with next, maybe South Carolina. That's not too far from Atlanta.
No, definitely not.
So hopefully they'll have the South Carolina con next year. What do you think? You think there's going to be some conventions next year, Dr. B?
Definitely. I think there might still be some conventions this year.
Oh, really? Wow.
I mean, possible. I don't know.
In my state, they have less than 1%. In New York, they have less than 1% positive cases of those people being tested.
Crazy. So
that's people say, "Oh, I gotta get tested because I think I might have it," and it's less than 1%. So,
well, yeah, that's kind of how it is. Like, I've developed this. Like if I take a really, really deep breath, like I used to play trumpet. I think I told you this. I was a trumpet player in school, and I played trumpet for a ska band. And sometimes I don't know why, but when I do like a big yawn or I take a big deep breath, I end up taking a second deep breath while I'm doing the first, and it hurts sometimes. But I always end up coughing, and people just get freaked out over somebody coughing. They're oh my God, that guy's got COVID. It's like, no,
I don't blame them.
I choke on my the Dr. Pepper went down the wrong hole, so I coughed, and they're like, oh my God.
How many Dr. Peppers you think you've drank in your lifetime?
Dude, enough to probably drown a small village.
Now, is it regular Dr. Pepper or the diet?
Oh, no, it's just a regular Dr. Pepper. Diet Dr. Pepper. What do you think I am?
That's not that bad.
Yeah, I drink the regular Dr. Pepper, man. Diet Dr. Pepper.
All right, there.
My therapist says if you're going to do it, Brian, go all out.
Nobody likes a quitter.
Yeah, I'm not a quitter. They're like, Brian, how come you don't drink? How come, hey, Brian, we're going to go get some drinks. Let's go to the bar and get some drinks. I'm like, well, they got Dr. Pepper? Like, no, but they got all these beers and stuff. I'm like, why would I drink a beer when they have Dr. Pepper?
Now, do people put Crown Royal in Dr. Pepper ever? Is that a drink down south?
They probably do. They probably do. I mean, I've seen people do car bombs with Dr. Pepper as well. But I mean, like, look, like I mean, I'm down with 23 flavors. Like, I don't need a 24th flavor or 25th, you know. I don't need all these other flavors.
Dang.
Let's see if anything else.
I was going to start playing. I found some copyright. There's like YouTube channels, with copyright free music,
Right.
to play. So I'm like, I'd like to play that music, but I don't know if I get a strike from it. I don't think, there's little background music, and I just sit here and I just sketch away.
Yeah.
The PhD and
PhD and she. Man, I'm gonna have to bounce, but I'll be back on here in a minute. Okay.
All right, bro.
I'm sorry, dude. Hopefully, you can get Paul Jenkins or Michael Soloff will get off of Facebook and come join the party.
Yeah, Paul Jenkins says he's going to come in, so that's good.
Nice. All right. Well, I will. I'll be back momentarily then. Okay.
Peace.
See ya. Bye.
Bye. It's going to send a message to our editor, JC Vaughn. All right. Let's do a profile this time. There you go. Okay, popped it in. All right. Sorry about the lighting, guys. It's really my drawing light, and that's what I kind of need to draw. Maybe I'll look into a cool umbrella or something like that. The little umbrella, the diffuser or the umbrella that kind of makes the light less harsh. But I kind of need the light to draw, so I apologize if it's a little bit off. Oh, someone's in. It's my bro. Hello, mate.
Hello, mate. What you drawing?
I like to do drawings. I gotta do she covers.
All
And
right.
then I'm like, damn it, I called you the other day, and then I just got crazy. This week has just been crazy. But I want to talk to you. You got a cool campaign going on, and thank you for joining me for a few minutes. And I don't know if you want to talk it up.
Yeah, man.
Talk a fairy quest for a little bit, and
We can talk about Fairy Quest. I'll bring up the campaign and show people stuff,
that'd be great.
You can see Fairy Quest. We had originally put it out on Kickstarter, so because we had done that originally before, but we wanted to make it available on Indiegogo, because we never done it before, right?
Yeah.
So we're sort of learning at the moment. I don't think we did the campaign great because we put it up there and we didn't really do a lot of advanced stuff, but that's because it had already existed. So we just wanted to make sure that it was available and people could get all the things. But if you would like, I can show you what it is. How about that? How about if I share a tab?
Yep, that would be great. First of all, I don't know, Paul, if you know JC Vaughn.
We have not met Paul. I'm from the Overstreet Comic Book Price Guide, and I co-write with Billy.
All right.
Huge fan of your Inhumans.
Oh, cool, man. Thank you. Yeah, I just got a bunch of Inhumans sent to me, actually. I just got in like 80 copies of it.
Oh, that's great. That is in my mind the best take on the Inhumans that's ever been produced.
Thank you. Well, it did pretty well. It certainly changed my trajectory in my career because people liked it so much, so they kind of said, "Wait a minute, you took the worst characters that we had and fixed them. Can you fix everything else?" So they kind of handed me Spider-Man and Hulk and all those other things to fix.
And it was a really tremendous amount of fun. I remember when Jimmy and Joe came down to the offices at Overstreet and were telling us about it. And of course, I was a Jay Lee fan, but they said Jay Lee, and I said, "And it's monthly." And Jimmy looked straight at me and goes, "Hellshock, right?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Do you have any idea how many pages he's really done and just chucked?" Yep. And I said, "No." And he says he's a perfectionist. He wants to get it right. Well, it showed on those pages, and it must be equally true for you, because that was just a phenomenal read.
Yeah, we go ahead, Bill.
No, finish. I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to say that what happened in that book, one thing that people don't understand is, we got 12 issues out of Jay. We also got 6 issues of the Sentry out of Jay.
Yeah.
And most of the time, I think we got 12 issues out of Jay in something like 15 months, which is incredible for Jay. Now, he and I had previously wanted to do a Hellshock Hellblazer crossover. That's why we actually ended up working together. What would happen is that Jay and I would call each other and we'd say, "What do you want to do?" And then we'd say, "Dude, I got nothing. I got no Hellshock Hellblazer crossover." Partly, Jay, because you've only put out 1 issue of Hellshock in 2 years.
Yeah.
So I don't think that we're going down that road. But what happened was that we got to be friendly and we got to realize that we like things. And so when Jimmy and Joe asked him, "What do you want to do?" He said, "I want to do the Inhumans." And they asked him, "Who do you want to do it?" And he said, "I'd like to work with Paul Jenkins." And they said, "That's great." And they called me and asked me if I wanted to do Inhumans. And I said, "Yeah, great. I've never heard of him." And the best part of it, and it always upsets comic fans, but it's just the way it is. I'm not a lifetime reader. I love comics. I love them as a medium. I love the way they can tell stories. But I couldn't tell you what happened in Daredevil issue 103. I'm not that guy. And that's always been to my advantage, right? Because I didn't know what I couldn't do with Inhumans, so they basically let me do whatever I wanted to. And
well, I think that's probably one of the most important things about that series is that the Inhumans, and other than how they were handled by Stan and Jack and Fantastic Four, period. Nobody knew what to do with them. They were massively inconsistent. And I can say this as a continuity freak. And, I'm the guy who can tell you, Frank Miller's first issue of Daredevil, Walter's first issue of Thor, all that kind of stuff like that. Inhumans were never served by their continuity because nobody but Stan and Jack knew what to do with them before you guys.
Well, actually, here's what I found, because I have the hindsight. I have the hindsight is 2020 sort of situation. So when I came into doing Inhumans, I had the opportunity to learn about who they were from scratch because I didn't know who they were.
Sure.
But I didn't really do that. All I did was they send me these 2 5-page Jack Kirby stories. That was it. And once they sent it to me, I actually told them, "Could you do me a favor? Please don't send me anymore, because I get it. I've got it. Like, I don't need anything other than these 2 little 5-page shorts." So what I pitched to them was, I almost don't understand why you can't do these characters. Look, Black Bolt is the king, but he can't speak, which is a great metaphor for, say, a king, or a queen of England or something. If she speaks in her mind, she creates a crisis, and so the country blows up, right? Yeah. So I can use that. Karnak, well, I'll get to him in a second, but the queen Medusa, she was created in the 60s, right? So her power was she had hair that could punch people.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
Really? Is that
it's very, very much like you, Billy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right? She could just punch people with her hair. So she didn't have much, but we made her the quiet power behind the throne. And in fact, when in the story, she's the one who sacrifices the most because she has her hair cut off on purpose so that it can go remote and help solve a problem. But here were the few things that I think that they missed on the Inhumans.
I don't mean to interrupt, but that's what happened to Billy's mohawk? He cut it off so it could go solve the problem?
Yeah, what was the problem you solved, Bill?
I had a mohawk. I did have the mohawk. Remember, Jeff, when we met when we had dinner with Medal of Honor recipient Joe Ciccato. I had the remnants of the mohawk.
No. I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about your Lost Boys look.
Oh wait, you mean the Lost? When you refer to the Lost Boys, you should say the Billy Tucci look, because that preceded the Lost Boys by over a year. That
Yeah, I think they copied Billy, understandably, but
anyhow, back to the real story, Paul.
So back to the Inhumans. So what was interesting about the Inhumans was that so when you looked at all of the things that they could be, right, I didn't know what you couldn't do. So for example, I was like, well, if he can't speak, then he's going to have a real problem if he talks in his sleep. He's going to blow the entire place up. So we had this whole sequence where his wife was sort of saying, yeah, he meditates every night for an hour so that when he goes to bed, he doesn't actually say something accidentally. And it showed like the perseverance and the difficulty of being a leader and all of that stuff, right? Or she said, you know, I know how he feels because of the way he looks at me and the way he holds me and all that. But just once, I'd love to hear him say, I love you. So a lot of what we were talking about.
Right. For those that don't know, like Jane Sanchez out there, who Black Bolt is, not saying I don't know who Black Bolt is. Of course, I know who Black Bolt is, and
right.
I know everything about him. He's probably my favorite character of all time. But for those that may not know, like Jeff here, what is Black Bolt's power? What is he? So
he's the leader of the Inhumans, and you know,
who are the Inhumans?
Well, the Inhumans live in this. They're like each of them is a unique subspecies of one. So what happens is that they live in this society and they're removed. They're part of the Fantastic Four kind of original stories, you know, and they live in this city called Atalan, and they're isolated, right? And so what happens is that when they get to a certain age, they are put inside a thing called the Terrigen Mists, and it transforms them into a kind of a mutant or whatever their powers end up being, right? So I look at this and I'm like, well, damn, you know, that's a metaphor for puberty. I mean, they go and, you know, so I knew that Inhumans was popular. We did the first issue and people went, yeah, that's not bad. And we did the second one about children going through the Terrigen Mist, and it was like the world blew up. All of a sudden, everybody's like, this is the greatest comic I've ever read. And I'm like, it was the same as the first one. It's just, you know, so what we realized was that there were so many stories you could tell with an outlandish society of people. You know, these are like super beings, and you could transform into a flying creature or something. But what I did with it was different. So you could go in the Terrigen Mist, and there's one character, there's two girls, and they're like, we're best friends forever. And one of them comes out, and she's the first flying Inhuman for like 20 years. And so she's really powerful, and she's really important. And the whole society is based on how your power is. So you're going to be in power if you have like a good superpower, right? And her best friend comes out, and her fingers have just got a bit longer. That's it. And the best friend says, you know, can we be friends anymore? And the flyer says, I don't think so. So it was all about like teenage angst, and it was about like growing in society. It was about America, basically, because ultimately, you know, there were some people that were born into power, and they had this powerful opportunity, and other people just their fingers got a bit longer. Or so there was one little guy who was my favorite character, and he was called Rexel, and he was a tattoo
artist. Damn near Kildle.
Say what?
Rexel. Damn near Kildle.
Yeah, Wrexham. Yeah, not Rectum.
Oh, sorry.
Rexel. And so this little guy, his power was that he could do tattoos on people's bodies. So he became a tattoo artist, and he lived in the worst end of town because he didn't have a power that was worth anything. But he was a real patriot. And so when it came time for like, the war against the humans, and they have to do it, he ends up sacrificing his life. So it was all about the power, the plight of the common soldier, you know, and people who love their country and stuff like that, which Billy and I, we talk about this all the time. But,
I know,
you know, it was all about like how ordinary people can step up and how we all have hidden surprises. So one of the Inhumans had long fingers, but it turns out she was a nurse. And she was mutated so that when the war happened, she was there to heal people. So society had made her that way. So we had all these really cool little things, and the Inhumans was a really crazy moment in my life because I guess Marvel had not won an Eisner for a really long time. And we did one book for them and they won an Eisner, and they just turned to me and said, write everything. So they let me do Spider-Man and the
That's
whole.
fantastic. That's fantastic.
Yeah, how was that experience? Was it, did I can just imagine again. You didn't grow up a comics fan, but of course, what an opportunity! I'm writing Spider-Man now. Oh my gosh, how great that is!
Well, not initially, buddy, because I turned them down.
Oh, really? Oh,
Billy, you've been taking the wrong approach.
So here's why I turned them down, Bill. Like, that I'm really only driven by making stuff and creating things, right? And so they came to me early and they said, wow, the Inhumans won an Eisner. You can do whatever you want to do. Like, you take over whichever character. And the problem was that they found out pretty quickly I didn't know any of the characters. And I just was sort of like a writer that had ended up working in comics a little bit. And so they came to me about Spider-Man and they said, well, we want you to kind of consider that. And Ralph Macchio, who was a great guy, I really like Ralph. And he asked me about it. And I said, I'll be honest, Ralph, I don't know what to do. I have no idea what to write with Spider-Man, because every time I look at your books, it's like, yeah, I don't know, they're all tied together and everything's like convoluted and everything's like crossover and there's a clone saga and this. I said, I don't even get it. So I don't even know what I can tell you. Nothing for me to do for you. And Ralph was cool. And he said, well, think it over. And it took me 2 years to think it over. And then I round out what to write. So the first Spider-Man book that I did was all about how it's all tied together. And he's trapped. He makes a terrible mistake and he's trapped under the weight of comic panels and they're just holding him to the ground. And he's in this like fever dream. And he has to go through all the things, the death of Captain Scacey and the death of whatever and the death of, all these people dying and all these tragedies. And when you get to the core of it, all the panels pull away from him, which is him getting liberated from his continuity stuff. JC, I guess you get this because you're a continuity guy. All of the Clone Saga flies off of him, all of these panels holding him down until there's just one moment, which is really, to me, the moment of his life, which is the death of Gwen, because that's his true love. Even if he loves Mary Jane, that's the girl that he loved. And so he doesn't want to see that. He doesn't want to experience it, but he has to. So he experiences the death of Gwen Stacy, and then she walks out in his dream, she walks out onto the rooftop with him. And now that all the continuity's been stripped away, now he's fighting the Green Goblin, he's fighting Dr. Octopus. That's what he was supposed to be. He's supposed to be the simple character that fights them with a sense of humor. But they all mesh away, and all of a sudden it's just him and Gwen. And she walks over to him and like she holds him and he says, Am I dreaming? And she says, yeah. And he says, well, I don't want to wake up. And she says, you have to. And that was like really sad. And then he says, I just want to kind of stay here with you. And she says, you can't do that. And he wakes up. And at that point, that's when I could write Spider-Man, because I had like shed away all of this stuff that I didn't understand. And I got to the core of this character, which is he loves Gwen. He loves Mary Jane. He's got a sense of duty. He's an amazing person. If he wasn't a Spider-Man, he would have been a teacher.
That's really great. Do you find that what you just described, getting to the core of something, is how you approach most writing, or is each thing different for you?
That's how I approach writing constantly. It is the core of the character and the core of the story. The first thing that we do, right? You know what I'll do? I'll do this with Bill, right? Bill, I'm gonna put you on the spot now. I tell you this. I ask you this one question. What's the core of that character? What's that about?
I'd say, well, the whole premise of she is really the duality of her, that she's from, two worlds that kind of clash together and really don't mix. And it's really her surviving. That's really what it is to survive in this world.
Every time that she's at peace, it's an uneasy truce that will not last. Yeah,
and I mean, she's a soldier drafted into a war that's existed for 500 years,
right?
And they're still getting out, and she tries to get out all the time, and they just
when I thought I was out,
she just.
Well,
and here's another thing though, Paul. A lot of people. I did an interview with someone, and they asked me why hasn't she had a comic book in the past 15 years, a new comic? And my point is, and Jeff, you know this, the character seems to write herself. Because there's just so much fun stuff to do with her. Do you like Spider-Man? And a lot of hopefully, I think she's a good character, like what other people think. But someone asked me, like, why hasn't she had a comic in the past 15 years? And I say, because she hasn't had to. She's had this peaceful life. She's finally found peace. She's gotten married. She had a daughter. You know, she has a family. She's got a full-time job at the Brooklyn Botanic Garden. She's, you know, living the dream, living a normal everyday life that, you know, most people wouldn't think, you know, warrants a comic book.
Well, the point is, though, that you were immediately able to tell me the theme and the point, right? Like you can. Now, I've lost count of the amount of people I've had conversations with or even work professionally in this business, and they don't have any of that. Mm. And it amazes me sometimes when you sort of say to somebody, hey, what are you writing about? And they just say some crossover thing that they're doing. And it's like, yeah, well, that's not what it's about. That's just what happens in it.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's not what it's about. So I used Spider-Man for years. I would write stories like, and I think I may have spoken about this particular book on your show, Bill, but we'll do it again. There's one issue of Spider-Man I wrote about baseball, right? And I think you're a baseball guy. You like the Yanks, right?
Yeah, he's not a baseball fan. He likes the Yankees.
Now, wait a minute. I'm born and raised Yankee fan.
Here we go. So, JC, what are you? Are you?
I'm a Pirates fan. We don't have fair weather fans because we don't have fair weather.
Don't have any fans. Okay, I relate to you because I'm a Crystal Palace fan. So we don't have, you know, it's me and my brother and my dog. That's it. That's who we got. So anyway, so what we did was we wrote a story about Peter Parker, and on the anniversary of Uncle Ben's death, he would go to a baseball game by himself, and that's because when he was a little kid. And he comes in and he's an orphan and he doesn't know what to do and he's meeting his uncle for the first time. They take him to a baseball game and the first time he goes, he falls in love with it. It's at the Mets, right? Yeah. And he watches the apple fall in the old stadium and he hears the national anthem and he's transfixed. And they do the 7th inning stretch and all the crazy stuff and he just falls in love with it. And that's how he connects to his Uncle Ben, right? And over the years, they go and they lose every time. So he's pissed off as a kid. He's just like, oh, I hate this game, just like my 9-year-old would do. And they lose every year. And eventually, one year he goes and he's just falling apart. He doesn't want to be there with his uncle. And he's just like being a bit of an idiot. And he's like a teenager now. And for the lo and behold, the Mets win. And they win for the first time. And he looks at his uncle in the stadium and his uncle doesn't have to say anything because he's already given him the speech many times and it's worth it. After all these years, it's finally worth it. And 2 days later, Uncle Ben is dead.
Ah.
And so the reason I wrote
that, you are,
the reason I wrote that story because I went to see my grandfather in Britain and he was dying, and I went to see him in Wales, you know, and I had to say goodbye and then get on a plane, and you know, we connected over old songs that he used to sing me when I was a kid. And we sang some songs together, and then he passed away. Yeah. And the crazy thing about that particular story of Spider-Man is that it's the most signed issue I've ever done, and it's one that people come to me and they're crying and they're like, this makes me think of my family. And then I have to give them the bad news, which is there is only one panel of Spider-Man in the entire book. Everything else is just Peter Parker and his uncle. So it says Spider-Man on the cover, but it's not a Spider-Man book.
You know, I think that's a really, really good thing. You know, it's a pretty good analogy that Bruce Wayne is a front for Batman, Clark Kent is a front for Superman, but Spider-Man is Peter Parker.
Yes, that's a great point. Right? Yeah, great point. Which is, you know, and so if you can thematically understand like what your version of that character is. First time I wrote Batman, I worked something out. I wrote it for Legends of the Dark Knight years ago, and I realized that Batman's just a guy who wants to solve a problem that he can, like, why does he dress up in a bat? You know, give him a chance to go out for a walk in the park or hang around in the shadows of Gotham and get his crap kicked out of him. He'd do the second one. Why? Because he's punishing himself because he didn't save his family, and all he wants is for his parents to come back, and he can never get them to come back to life. Yeah. So basically, he can't win, and he's an incredibly tragic character. In fact, I think he's one of the best tragic characters in modern literature, whether people like that or not. Sorry, because he can't win, And so I wrote him that way. And I've always been able to do that, you know? Okay, the reason I keep looking off is because I think my cat is over here trying to get out of a cupboard or something. Hang on.
All right, yeah, I got my cat is over here too.
All right, that's my perfect excuse to step away for a second.
Are you really?
Yeah, I got to see if I can find something really quick.
All right, please do. Well, I'm looking over a 4-leaf clover. I'm going to give you show tunes.
This is what happens. This is what happens to this idiot when he goes to sleep in a cupboard and he gets shut in.
Jeff just stepped away for a second.
Good.
So, Paul, do you want to while we're here, you have the extraordinary campaign, and I had the honor of doing one of your covers. Thank you for having me on to do that. But do you want to share Fairy Quest so we can share your screen?
Yeah, I can. Actually, you know what I need? I need to unshare it for 1 second. I just realized because I got to share the sound. So
okay,
we can.
When you're ready, I'll enlarge you.
Yeah, and what we'll do? Hang on a minute. I think we just got rid of that screen, so I'm gonna have to go find it again. Hang on a minute. So how are you doing, man? How's your
crazy? I wrote a bunch of Miss Fury pages today. I'm sorry, this week. Drew She, I'm halfway done with the She comic with the next She book, Haikyuu. Drew that. Getting ready, packing up for this convention.
Which convention are you going to?
No, for this fulfillment for the campaign.
Yeah.
Okay. Picking up all the supplies, things like that. That said, hot flips. Gee whiz! I don't know. We had a flood again. We had the whole bathroom redone. We had a massive flood. It was all redone in March, and now it's leaking again from the shower. So
we just had our floor put in the kitchen today, Billy, the downstairs kitchen.
Yeah,
and and that flood was 3 months ago, and that's just how it is trying to get home repair guys right now.
Yeah.
So where I had disappeared to, Paul, was I was looking for my Welsh flag.
Ah, there you go.
I didn't find it.
Oh, that's too bad. I got like all kinds of like Welsh shirts upstairs. I could have put one on for this.
Does the Welsh flag have the lion on it?
Yes.
Is it green?
No, not a lion. It's a dragon. You get
it's the dragon in this pose and green and white, etc.
Well, Paul, I don't know, Jeff, have you done the 23andMe thing or anything like that yet?
No. Why would I give the government all that data?
Why would you give it to the government?
Oh, that's right. The government would never take that data.
You're right. Yeah. Well, I'm curious to find out what I am. Like we told
historically, I mean, we know some of it. I'm mostly Native American. Oh, wait, sorry. I'm Welsh, Scots, Irish, Dutch, German, and a little bit of Portuguese.
Wow, I'd be so proud to be Welsh.
Well, you know what we are, Billy. We are great drunken poets.
Yeah,
we are excellent coal miners. I have that both in my Welsh heritage and my Pennsylvanian heritage, and excellent long bowman.
Yes, long bowman.
So you know what this is in Britain, right? This is
straight eye dude. You know the origin of it.
Yeah, that's it. That's where it comes from, the longbow. So
yeah, at Agincourt, after they were marching by the French, who in the previous battles had cut off their bow fingers.
Yep,
that's where the insult came from.
Yeah. So Billy, the way it worked was that the British had the longbow and they would win the battles against the French, and so the French would capture the British soldiers and they would cut their two fingers off. Right? They would cut the two fingers off to basically so they couldn't go back and fire the longbow anymore. So what the British did when they won at Agincourt and subsequently was that they would do this. They would hold up two fingers to say, "Hey, I still got my fingers." So it's an insult to the French, which is pretty much the way that.
When I was a kid and discovered that, was actually a feature article. They used to have the best feature articles, page 1, center column in the Wall Street Journal, and it would jump to inside.
Which you read religiously as a child.
I did. And I grew up understanding that they had better feature writing than most of the non-financial newspapers.
Yeah. Well, so I did the genealogy. I should say my brother did it on my family.
That's great. So you have to pay for it. Excellent.
No, it wasn't that hard because my uncle Derek put together the digitization of the British Library. So all the parishes and all the records that came in, Uncle Derek was responsible for kind of like making sure they got digitized on the computer, right? And what's so funny about it is that on my mum's side, it's just everywhere. It could be, God knows, because they're all travelers and gypsies and stuff. I mean, basically like Romani gypsies and who knows, right? So it's really hard to kind of pin down, but a lot of English and a lot of, all that stuff. On the other side, my dad's side, they were from a small town in the Black Mountains called Monith-Dreslewin, which is hard to find on a map. And we traced it back to the original census, which is called the Doomsday Book, like DOMES.
Yes.
Doomsday Book in 1106. We traced it back in about 25 minutes. They had never left the town. So the firstborn was called Richard Schenko when it first started in 1106, and it became Richard Jenkins. And my firstborn in my family, my dad, my brother, my brother's son, my great-grandfather, my great-great-grandfather, all of them are Richard Jenkins, and they have been from the same village for 1,000 years.
It's just amazing, and the name thing cracks me up. Just going since my family's been in the States, my grandfather, my cousin, my uncle, and my grandfather were all Richard Earl Vaughan.
There you go.
The law was laid down that I would not be a junior of any kind, and it was my mom doing that, right?
Are you but what about being a second?
Yes, James Mattingly the second, but
yes.
No. But so we looked at, my dad's name was James, and we went back as far as it's been in this country, and they're almost all James married to somebody named Mary. I mean, the consistency is just stunning in my family. We have like 2 names. Yeah.
And what's so funny about it is, so, from my side of it, so Jenkins is a, very well, it couldn't be more Welsh, I suppose. Jenkins, Evans, Jones, and so, from our perspective, like my family on my dad's side, they were just coal miners that died of black lung really young. They would die in their mid-30s and they would keep procreating and staying in the same village. My great-grandfather was the first one to get out, and he went around the world in the first war. And then my grandfather, Dick Jenkins, he designed all the railways in Kenya. He designed all across that part of Africa. He designed the entire railway system.
My dad adored Kenya.
Oh yeah, cool. Well, so they were in Kenya and all those areas for years. And then my dad went back to Bristol, which is just across the river from Wales. And then my family, my nephew went back closer to I guarantee that his son is going to end up living in Monith-Dreslewin. We got out for like 5 generations and just said, it's not for us. Yeah.
That's hysterical, man.
That's pretty cool.
Well, gentlemen, I have to bolt. Billy, thank you for inviting me on, and Paul, delightful to meet you. I look forward to doing it in person when we're allowed to do such things again in the future.
I look forward to it too.
So you have to black bolt.
And yes, I have to black bolt. Thank you, Billy. I won't be screaming and destroying civilization just yet.
Well, Old Bean, will you be coming by tomorrow or Sunday?
I will, if you actually send me the address as you had promised to do.
What? All right, I will.
Okay.
I'll send it to you when we get off. We're not going to stay on that much longer, and we have a replacement for you. So,
well, I'd like to believe that I was irreplaceable, but, evidence to the contrary. Paul, a real delight, man. Seriously, big fan, and I'll talk to you guys soon, I hope.
Yeah, I look forward to it.
All right. Bye-bye.
I'll talk to you later.
By the way, I noticed a comment from...
What?
Uh-oh.
Oh,
what's going on?
One of your best friends.
I know it's a comment from TJ James right here. It says Lewis Clan coal miners that came to America and landed in West Virginia. Imagine that. All the coal miners came from Wales and they went right to West Virginia. First place I went to in, I think it was called Jenkins. There was like a town called Jenkins, I think it's there. And there's one in Kentucky as well called Jenkins. So I think that's pretty funny. So anyway, yeah. Do you want me to show you this? This?
Yeah, that's what I wanted you to come on. I want to talk a little fairy quest.
Yeah.
So if you could share it, we'll pop XPU on.
It is shared.
I want to also say, since Paul is on, I have an incredible question to ask you about the most amazing thing that I saw this past weekend.
I can't wait.
I was yeah. I mean, you can't wait. Like, I'm hoping we can pull it up so I can show it off, because I know nobody will believe me.
All right, let's add Fairy Quest to the stream. Kapow!
Right.
All right.
Boom.
So let me show you Fairy Quest. So basically, we had always done this on Kickstarter, which is where its core audience is. But one of the things, as you know, Bill, we wanted to kind of bring it to Indiegogo because we don't know the audience there, and we'd really like everybody to read our book. And we didn't really do a lot of prep. We didn't do a lot of advanced kind of sales or warning. We just we put the campaign up and we said, look, anyone that wants the project, come and take a look. But let me show you kind of what the project looks like. I'll go through it. So I shared thing. Let me show you the video. That might be a good way for people.
Yeah, that's what I want to see.
Okay. Hey everyone, on behalf of Meta Studios, welcome to Fairy Quest. This is book 1, this is book 2, which have been out of print for quite some time. And on this occasion, we're actually coming back with a brand new volume, book 3, which is called Over, Under and Through. This is our first time on Indiegogo, so we're really excited to see how things will go over here. There are plenty of fans who've never seen our book. And we have lots of friends who do Indiegogos right now, and they've been telling us amazing things, so we hope that is true for you as it is for us. We're going to give away a bunch of swag, a load of really cool stretch goals and things like that, and we really want to make this the best experience that we can. So we're going to make sure that we stay in touch with you. We're going to answer any questions that you have. We're going to be introducing new stuff all the time. There will be some Indiegogo exclusives and all kinds of other really cool stuff. And we also want to hear from you. We would love to answer any questions that you have, give you any information that we have, and generally make this a really, really positive experience. And we'll show you a little bit of what's down on the page. So I think what we did was we sort of put it up. We got all the individual issues available. I think for us it was just like learning the format because it's a bit different format. But I think it's easy to see what Fairy Quest is just from kind of seeing our very first page, right?
Yeah.
You can see this page and you can kind of see what Fairy Quest is. It looks like that. It's a story of Red Riding Hood and the Wolf. And they become best friends, and they decide to escape the tyranny of their story by escaping to the real world together. So we got lots of different versions of the book. The book we sort of put down here. We tell the story on the page. We have different covers. So there's a Jill Thompson cover. There's a Kevin Eastman cover, both in. And here's the Billy Tucci cover, right? In fact, I'll scroll down to it right there. Look at that. See that thing?
Yeah, I love drawing that.
A thing of beauty right there. That's our version of Tinkerbell, and Billy, you knocked it out of the park. So we have variant covers, and all of these things are already going to be in production. So basically, where we stand right now is everybody gets all of the stretch goals that we already did on Kickstarter. So there's going to be a few free things to give away, like there'll be bookmarks and some Christmas cards and stuff like that, right? So there's a few things that will come with it anyway. But there are individual covers. There's a Mike Bowden cover that we did. There's the original Humberto Ramos cover right there. And generally, the Fairy Quest is sort of like one of the most loved books that I've done. This is Ali Garza's cover to #1. And And then what we did, I'll play this one too, just for the sake of it. A big part of what we do is to try to make sure that we make a book that can last for 100 years. So we really go high on the production quality.
Yeah, they're beautiful books.
Okay, so let's take a look at the
Are you showing the video again?
Yeah, I'm just showing the video of the way that the book looks. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, just mute yourself when you do that.
I will. Okay, so let's take a look at the production values that we've got onto.
You can run it, Paul. I can mute your mic so it still runs, all right?
Okay, so let's take a look at the production values that we've got onto Fair Request. Here's the squared bound or perfect bound side of the book. We like to make something that lasts for a very long time. If you look at the back cover, and we've done it on both covers, you'll see, as I've held it up to the light here, it says do not deviate, but that's actually just using a spot UV varnish. So that's something that we brought to the front cover of all of our books. Let's take a look at the front cover. As I hold it up to the light, you'll see we've got the spot UV coating again, so it's in the eyeballs. But you can also see that Red Riding Hood is actually embossed on the cover, and some of the other characters are as well. This is the kind of book that we make to be very sturdy and beautiful so that it will last a really long time, and we hope that you will love it as much as we do. So there's that, and obviously what we did as well, just because of COVID, you know, we put up one version of the book, the digital version at the top right up here, so that anybody can get it, all three books for $15, basically, all three of them, you know, and it allows people to read it, you know, themselves. So what we're basically trying to do is make it available. We're going to put it up on in demand, so it'll just stay up where it is. But I think that, you know, we've learned something about this particular campaign. We didn't do a lot of advanced stuff like most people do, you know, so we're learning Indiegogo as we go. We're not too worried about it, but we'd love to hit our goal. And the other thing about our goal is we'll continue afterwards. So it'll just stay in demand until we're ready to print. So we should be able to kind of deliver more stuff. If we hit certain stretches, one of the things that we're going to do is do a sneak peek of our next project. And all of these things will go to all of the backers. So, for example, everybody on Indiegogo gets all the extra stuff that the Kickstarter backers already got. So we give away all that swag anyway. So, you know, the project is moving along. It's not going very quickly, but we're okay because we have already kind of funded it. We just really would love to have the Indiegogo people embrace it. I think it's not got a lot of visibility right now, but hopefully we can change that in the next couple of weeks, you know?
Yeah, and that's the thing too, because what we've learned, right, Dr. B, you know it from the show, is that there really are two different audiences. It's almost like it's not like, say, Walmart and Target shoppers. It's like Ford and Chevy buyers.
Like Dr. Pepper and Mr. Pibb.
There you go. See? So, but and they're real brand loyalty. I mean, it's true brand loyalty there. And so much to the point that it gets almost like Capulets and Montagues in a way.
Yeah, Sharks and the Jets.
Yeah, Sharks. I love that, Sharks and the Jets. So you know, so you need, and you know, and you're making the rounds and all, but I think the more shows you go on that are people that may be Indiegogo eccentric, you know, creator shows and stuff like that. Because there are so many people, like I said, you killed it on Kickstarter. Yeah. But there's a lot of people that don't know about it on Indiegogo.
I would think most people don't know about it on Indiegogo. Yeah. And we're trying to kind of get that word out right now. So I'm on another one at 8 o'clock, actually. I'm going to bust in a little while because I'm on one at 8 to kind of promote it tonight. I think for the last 2 weeks, what I'm going to do is really push it and get people to understand that, you know, from my perspective, and this has been an interesting journey for us, I did see that kind of Montague Capulet thing. I was genuinely surprised the first time I saw it. You know, I didn't realize that this thing existed. I mean, you figure you just do the work and people see it and they like it or they don't. I know from my perspective, like I'm non-denominational, right? I want everyone to have my book, so I don't really have any kind of connection to any of that stuff. I just make good stuff, I hope, and I hope people really like it. And I'm genuinely confused at times by if there's any, you know, disconnect with people at times, you know, where
or animosity.
The animosity has been really strong because there are people that were most of the people who found Indiegogo, and I love Indiegogo. I love them. I love it so much. I mean, our Indiegogo numbers are double our now with the I think it's double our Kickstarter numbers with being in demand. But I love Indiegogo. I love the Indiegogo fans. I love that whole community. But Indiegogo people, a lot of Indiegogo creators, they found Indiegogo because they didn't have a choice, because they were kicked off Kickstarter, or they were gate kept from going onto Kickstarter, and which I find amazing. You know, you gatekeep people from art, which is nuts. You know what I mean? You can have the Piss Christ, piece of artwork, and that's huge. But for someone who has, if they voted for a certain person, they voted for Trump, the words gets around that, you're not a Kickstarter person, and they found a open home at Indiegogo that really doesn't judge people.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned the why does everyone go back to the Piss Christ, right? Like it's kind of weird, but it's we had the same thing in the Tate Gallery in Britain. There was a thing called fire bricks, and it was literally a rectangle of fire bricks built up on top of each other. And the Tate Gallery paid something like $135,000 for 400 fire bricks to just be piled up in a rectangle and sat as an exhibit. And I went there and I sat on them because I thought they were a bench. And they said, no, don't worry about it. People do that all the time. And it's like, yeah, okay. So
$130,000 bench.
Bench, well, because it's just stupid. It's a bunch of fire bricks, man. Like I could have done that, right? And so I agree. I do think that what's happening a little bit is that the disconnect in society, the stuff that everyone is dealing with anyway, we're all dealing with it, right? Seems to be very difficult for people to overcome. Not for me, because I live outside of it. I don't do it. I don't participate. I make books, and I want everyone to read my books, and I have no issue. Go ahead. Listen, I work in the entertainment industry, and I got plenty of friends that are very far on the left, right?
Yeah.
I live in the second most conservative county in Georgia, right? So
you got friends on the right.
I couldn't work out how they measured it. Like, how did you work? Oh, by the way, it's the second most conservative county in the country, apparently. And I asked the question, who came first, and how did you measure that? Right? Like, who went? Like, well, you're just second. Like, I feel we're not that good, but it's we're not. We're almost there.
Like, what was the judging criteria for that contest?
Right.
And how did we get second place?
How did we get second place?
What do we need to do to get first place?
Right? And so I don't care. I don't watch it. I don't do it. I make stuff. And if people love it, that's great. And if they don't love it, I get it. Right.
Man, just to expound on that, like the thing that has blown me away since I've been lucky enough to be involved in the interview process and talking with all the people is how much value people put into stuff that is not even related to the book. Like the whole thing is the book. Like that's what you're bidding on. You're not bidding on my political views. You're not bidding on the fact that I donated to X, deal or whatever, or the fact that whether I feel that a woman should be able to, do with her body as she wants. Like none of that matters in relation to the book, which is the whole reason that we're here.
I think these things matter in society if we want to have an intellectual debate about them, right? They're all important things, right? I think the thing that we're probably struggling with as a society as a whole is that no one knows how to say, I don't know, or I agree, or maybe I agree with you and I agree with you as well. It's got to be one thing or the other. And so, I don't know, I guess we're on a political thing, but the only reason we're on a political conversation is because I am so fucking mystified by politics. I do not do it. I don't care about it. I don't want to talk about it. I can't live inside of it, and it dominates everything. And what I worry about, but I don't worry too much because you know who I am? I'm the guy that unifies everybody. I talk to everybody, and I've never not talked to everybody. So I will,
that's how you got to be. It's healthy.
Yeah.
Why waste your time? I get in spats, and I mean, a lot of my friends, especially in the comics industry, and let's be honest, there was a sizable portion of the United States voting population that literally lost their friggin' minds on November 8th, November 9th. 2016. They thought that Trump was not good. They never took him seriously. They didn't think he was going to win. And now he won, and especially with the Electoral College, how he won handily, that shocked the hell out of them. And that was when the whole resist thing started. Resist and all this. I mean, the man didn't even get a chance to start. Now,
I think the way that you should look at it is this. I tend to go with what do people do, right? So this is too much information to some extent, because who cares about my fucking opinion? Who cares about my opinion, right? But for what it's worth, I've always been a unifier. I love everybody, and I'm open to talk to everybody and understand everybody. Me personally, I don't like the guy at all because he's horrible, because he's mean to people, right? I don't like anyone that's horrible. Well, but I don't care for that, right? So, I mean, everyone has their own opinion, right? So I don't really care for anyone that's horrible to someone, right? Especially from the point of view of being like the president of the United States, because you're in charge. And so, you've got like what they might call a bully pulpit. You get to win the argument because you're the strongest, most powerful person in the country. Don't be shitty to people. Just be nice, right? And I wish for that in the world, right? I'm terrible because I'm not a hippie by any stretch of imagination. I'm much more of a punk.
You start to sound like a hippie, don't you say so, Dr.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I definitely know where Paul.
I'm kidding.
I know where Paul's coming from. I can't remember. I don't know if it was Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels or Snatch or one of those Guy Ritchie movies, but they're hanging the guy over the edge of the building, and threatening him. They're holding him over the edge like they're going to drop him, and then they're hitting him, and he's like, "You can't hold me over the edge and hit me." like why? Like you already got me over the edge. Like you don't need to hit me too.
So I don't do it for that reason, because I'm the most annoying person in the world. I don't trust any of the politicians. I grew up in a punk era. I could care less about any of them. I don't want to listen to them. I don't want to hear from them. Let me tell you something, okay? Politics is a self-enrichment scam. It's a scam, right? So, sorry, I feel bad because people will argue with me and go like, well, you're not my guy, or you don't like the Republicans, or you don't like the Democrats. I'm like, no, I don't. I don't like any of them. Sorry. But I wish that they would be nicer. I wish everybody would just go, I agree to disagree with you. I don't like Trump, but I understand why you like him. That wouldn't be a bad thing, and nobody seems to be doing that right now.
No, they haven't. Well, you know what? Also, the big problem is I'd say in the United States and perhaps the world, since the 1960s, really, people in the United States, and I don't want to talk for your home country, Paul, but they've been asking people how they feel about something rather than what they think about something. It's like, how do you feel about that? Well, I can tell you how I feel about it. I'm fucking pissed off, blah, blah, blah. As opposed to like, well, what do you think of that? People don't think for the most part. They feel. And we're taught that. We've been taught to feel and to tell, to tell them how we feel and express our feelings, as opposed to, well, what do you think of that? What do you think of this? What do you think of that? To actually think about something before you open your mouth and say it.
So we don't solve problems. So let me take you back. We're in a political discussion now, which I find amazing because I won't do it, right?
Yeah, I just brought, it's unfortunate. It seems when you talk Kickstarter and Indiegogo, that seems to be right? It always seems to that's the reason why there is that.
Well, I don't have much to say, but I would say this, right? That if you go back to when John McCain and George Bush Jr. were vying for the leadership of the Republican Party, and you had John McCain, who's a decorated veteran. He's a guy who understood some of the fundamental issues that I think we're facing in America. And one of them was campaign finance reform, right? He kept saying really vocal about it. Like, man, the campaigns get financed. You're buying presidencies. That has to stop, right? And George Bush Jr. tended to be much more of a cowboy. And we were like, nuclear. Hey, everyone, let's go drinking, right? And it was sort of like, here's a guy that had a lot of substance in John McCain. And here's a guy that I didn't feel had as much, but he was sort of like your drinking buddy. And people voted for your drinking buddy. They didn't vote for the guy. No one even cared about campaign finance reform. So there's politics in a nutshell, right? You're not doing anything. You're not thinking. You're feeling. And that's that's human nature, man. So it's not consigned to like society. It's actually everywhere. Everyone as the guy might say about guys, you think with your dick, right? Everyone does that. All the guys do. They go by impulses, and I personally don't. But that's why I don't mind listening to everybody's opinion. I don't have to agree with anyone's opinion to be able to listen to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what, Paul? I think that's why we get along so well for so many years, because I'm the same exact way. I feel.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I don't judge anybody. Hey, you're a Republican. That's fine. You're a Democrat. That's great. Good for you. Knock yourself out. That's how you.
Knock yourself out, because right now, please knock yourself out, because right now you're busy knocking each other out, and I hate to see it.
Thanks.
Yeah. Blevins, what's this? Because I got to get going in a minute.
All right. So, from previous shows, huge Ninja Turtle fan. I literally thought I had seen it all, and I was in one of the Ninja Turtle fan pages, and I was talking about something, and someone showed an intro to the Japanese Ninja Turtles cartoon, which I have never seen, and they look like Wolverine.
Yeah.
And they have the crystals, and I have the link. If I can send it to you, if you still have your screen being shared, or whatever.
Send me the link.
I can send it to you. It's a YouTube deal. But man, it is.
You want to share it, Brian?
I'll send it to Paul, since he already has his deal set up.
Okay.
And
then we'll let Paul go. We'll say goodbye. I just want to.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I've done a lot of these dang covers.
I couldn't even believe this. And when it started, I thought, I was like, oh well, it has the intro song. It sounded like Ghostbusters, like the intro song Ghostbusters, like do 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 do.
So let's see this thing. I'm gonna pull it up. Hang on a second.
And I was gonna ask how come. Yeah. I was gonna ask how come we can't get that, and can you get it for me? Because I've looked everywhere and I can't get it.
Okay, so let me share my screen and you'll see.
Well, when you share it, mute yourself. Make sure
I will be. I'm going to mute myself now.
Okay. Wow. Wow, that is so stupid.
That is absolutely my new favorite song.
As usual, the Japanese do a much better theme tune than we do. That was a great theme tune, and that rivals Teenage Mutant Ninja, the original one. That is a great theme tune.
Why did they change it to make it look like Wolverine? That's so weird.
Well, more than that, it was more Transformers.
Yeah, Transformers.
Well, it was Power Rangers, cartoon Power Rangers too. They had the gyms and all that stuff, and then the Zords.
It was basically that they just said, like, you know what? Let's just do Transformers and put the Ninja Turtles in. They're popular,
There you
and
go.
it was popular.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, so I couldn't read most of it, obviously, because it was in Japanese. But I saw Mirage Studios, Fred Wolf.
Yeah.
So is it something where they just got the license from you to do, or was it something that Mirage actually went over there and talked to them to create? And how do I get it?
So here's a tale. Ready? So the Asian licensing agent was a guy called Wilfred Coe, and let's just say that Wilfred was connected. I'm gonna die now.
Like this connected?
Yeah, he's very connected.
Yeah.
He's connected to a lot. He's connected to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So they told us that it wasn't making any money over in Japan and in any of those territories, right? And we went, oh, that's too bad, because doing great everywhere else. And then we went on a fact-finding mission and got off the plane in Japan, and that entire country was green. We were like, okay, hang on a minute. So trying to kind of untangle that mess was a bit crazy. And Pete Laird was apparently like terrified of this guy because he thought that's what was going on. So every so often the artist would kind of come around, and we would go around and we would knock on his door, go, Pete, it's me, or it's Wilfred Coe, open up. Pete was in his office.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I mean, it was sort of like, go for it, guys. You know, have fun, right? Do your thing.
Man, I can't find it anywhere. I've been looking everywhere for it. I went into some of the other obscure like Japanese message boards trying to see about getting stuff to trade out. You know, some big. I know you don't know this, but I'm a huge collector of all 80s cartoons, 90s, you know, pop culture stuff. Like it's kind of like how I go. You know, like I go pretty hard on it. So I'm just, man, I saw that and I was like, my mind was blown, and I was like, I have to ask Paul Jenkins, and I even showed it to Niall. And Niall said he was going to reach out to you, but I guess he didn't or whatever. But yeah. How long has it been since you've seen that?
Oh, ages, man, ages. That thing, that was like it's the Transformers, man. It's not Power Rangers. It's not Wolverine. It kind of looks like Wolverine because the bit where he's jumping with a sword.
Well, his mask, the Wolverine mask, you know. Yeah,
kind of. But basically, it's just they sort of went, what do we do in Japan? And they sort of thought about it for a second. Went, which one should we do? Yeah, let's do Transformers. Those are always popular. so they just got the Ninja Turtles and they slapped it because it was branded, and they slapped it on top of Transformers and went, there you go. And the fans went nuts for it.
So have you seen all those? And were there mangas like that?
Have I seen all of them? I haven't seen all of them, dude. I couldn't live through all of that, mate.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know if you did they make mangas of that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
with the same style and everything.
Yeah.
Man, like,
let's put it this way.
I feel like my life is incomplete.
There was a lot of product. There was a ton of product, and we didn't know what it was. That's why I was saying they went on a fact-finding mission. They got there and they found out that not only was it popular, but it was like mega popular, and there was stuff everywhere, and none of it was reported to the licensing agent particularly. It was all just going on by itself, which I think is kind of funny.
Man, I hope that was a pretty good blast from the past, because when I saw that, I was like, I have to have this, and I have no idea how to get it.
You see that gray beard? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, all right, guys. Paul's got to go on a show. He's got another show.
Thanks, Paul.
What is it going to be, Paul? Is it recorded or is it live?
It is live, so I'm going to be on a stream in a minute. I don't know exactly. I guess I'll have a quick look. Hang on a second. So it is a guy. I don't know who it is. Someone called Critical Blast on.
Oh, Critical Blast!
Critical Blast! Yeah,
great show.
They're good. Good people. Good people.
Yeah, great show. Great people. Yep.
Yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to have some fun with them, and I'm going to go, and I'll see you guys later. Billy, thanks for having me on, and
see you, Paul.
Thanks for pushing. See you later, mate.
Definitely. See you later, Paul.
Anytime, bro. We'll get you on some more, man.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Fairy Quest on Indiegogo. Google
100%.
it. All right, well, the description's in the link here, so.
There
All
you
right,
go.
bye, guys. See you later, Paul.
See ya.
See ya.
All right, Dr. B, I got to get going, too. I got to eat something.
Yeah, you got to finish
gotta-
drawing those amazing masterpieces.
I got to Skype with Steve at 9. So,
Steve Perros,
Steve Perros.
the co-writer of She Return of the
I don't know.
Warrior.
See, now he's kind of like the writer now. I mean, it's our story, but he's the scripter. I'm just throwing a few lines here and there in, but
Man,
you know,
what do I have to give to become a fly on that wall? I have a Super Smash Brothers Melee mint condition still sealed. I will gladly trade for me to be allowed to be on the wall of that conversation.
well, that's not right. It's
No, I'm just kidding.
very,
I'm just kidding.
you know. But again, I don't even know what a Super Smash Brothers is. So I heard about it, but
It's only like the most popular video game in the world. It's cool.
I thought Minecraft was bigger than that.
Man, Minecraft has sold more than that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's more how about this? It's the most popular fighting game
Oh, I like that.
out there. How's that? Let me go ahead and put it. Let me go ahead and narrow it down into a little box for you.
All right.
But yeah,
Well, all right, brother. I'm gonna go. Everyone out there, please, if you guys don't mind, share my our campaign is live on Indiegogo. It's in the description. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Dr. B, we're gonna try to go live tomorrow.
I'm here for you.
From the American Legion Hall, we'll be fulfilling everything. We're a little crew. Maybe lunchtime, we're gonna get some pizzas and all, and have a nice lunch. So a nice Italian lunch. So everyone have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Dr. B, I'll talk to you over the weekend.
it sounds like a plan,
And,
sir.
Now I'm gonna go to Brent. I'm gonna take us out, bro.
Dude, take us out.
I'm taking us out. So everyone have a great one.
Just don't take us out. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not gonna take us out.
Don't take us out like you're connected.
That's right.
Like connected.
Like the guy that made the turtle show. All right.
Yeah,
everyone
like
have a great
connected
day.
like this and this.
You guys have a good one. We'll talk to you later. All right. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us on Pop XP. If you haven't already, make sure to click that subscribe button and also click the bell for notifications when we go live and we upload some awesome new content. Also, don't forget to head on over to Twitter and follow us at the Pop XP and over on Instagram at the Pop XP. Thanks again everyone, and we'll see you soon.